Hey there, folks. It's 6:06 p.m. Saturday, July 14th, 2018. 6:06. Either way you look at it, 6:06 frontwards or backwards. 6:07. Anyway, 6 is the sum of your intuition or met abilities. 0 is completion. I was going to do this 5 minutes earlier, but Deanna had to help me get the rest of my makeup on. If you do have problems with alcohol, I apologize. I'm going to open up a bottle of wine. Like I said, I should have been dead a long time ago, but my blood pressure is so crazy. Haven't quit taking my blood pressure medicine. Well, like most of you that have listened to me for a while, it was 209 over 116, 120 when I was on blood pressure medicine, and I quit taking it months ago, and I'm drinking an extra cup of coffee every day. I have espresso. I have 4 shots of espresso. That's my cup of coffee. Anyway, so it doesn't hurt me. We're gonna have some fun with some stuff while we get serious. Also, I can correct a small screw up that I had. This is a Sauterne. They're from France. They're like a sweet dessert wine. I've always liked them. La Fleur d'Or. They're inexpensive. It's, well, $25 or something for half a bottle. Oh, that's 2014. Usually it's been 2011. I guess all this stuff's gone. Anyway, I'm having a hard time talking and saying what I'm trying to say. I've always been like that, but now it's a lot worse. The closer I get to getting out of this damn body, the more I'm just falling down mentally and stuff. Abilities, like I've always said, through the roof. Every once in a while, somebody comes over here and works on a house. I'll crank them up and they leave like this. Hey man, I did everything I could, but it's time to go. Finally, it's got a bit of a pear smell. It's nice. Want some? Yes. They say he should fill up a wine glass about that much or something. Bowl. It's okay. Salud. Salud na zdrowie. Cheers. Down at you, mate. Bottoms up to your health and your awakening. Nice. Anyway, the mistake. I was trying to talk about those 2 huge depots around Saturn, and then also the space station that's now close to Saturn. The way I was talking, it was like they were orbiting. No, they've done that before, but they stay above Saturn. They're floating in the air. Excuse me, they're floating in space. See what I mean? It used to be, the space station was much closer to Jupiter. And then when the Nantids and the others came and took, got rid of the problematic Anunnaki here on Earth, then it was safe to go closer to Saturn, because before they got here, what was running things, the original council that was on Saturn, the nasty guys, they were taken out. Their heads blew up while they were sitting in chamber. They had a big table made of some weird metal or something, some kind of stone actually, and they all had trip chairs, fancied up trip chairs, like their own little thrones. Unreal. Anyway, I didn't mean to say or insinuate that they're orbiting around the planets. That's happened before, but not often. They stay pretty much off the planet, and stuff flies in, gets their stuff, and drops stuff off, goods, supplies, whatever, and they take off. So, and believe it or not, we have some people out there now from Earth. Anyway, it's an exciting and sometimes rough road to awaken your abilities, for them to come to life. Part of it slowly, softly happens, but you have to use them in order to really make yourself grow, make yourself get strong. Excuse me. The more you do, the more you understand the lack of validity with all your religions. As soon as everyone was freed of all the angels, the original first angels that was hanging on them, you no longer had something forcing you to, just literally making you think something was right. And that included religions, because above all things else, the original first being male and female, they wanted your growth. They wanted your spirit to grow in size, to be able to later create more little pieces of yourself, which would then praise them. But number two, right there next to number one, was, okay, feel that. Was praise. They wanted praise. Having some issues. Things went crazy on the other side because I'm so close to dropping this body and getting the hell out of it. They went nuts, attacking Deanne and I, and even dropped something on my foot out of nowhere, cut the hell out of my foot. Those of you that have been around me a while, I've had the metatarsals in the top of my left foot literally broken while I was sleeping in bed. My bed doesn't have a footboard. I never got out. There was nothing to kick. I just woke up with 4 metatarsal bones broken. Did it once, and for like, I don't know, 2-4 months later, so I don't know how much later, a little bit later, they did it again. They'll pay soon. Anyway, so when that happened, what I am inside got real pissed, needless to say, and it's me, Arae, stuck in this body. So I can't see everything that's an issue and that will be an issue and kill it while I'm stuck in this body. I see a whole lot. I go through creation twice a day at minimum, killing stuff that's spirit. That's what it is. That's around Deanna and I. He used to do it for other people and all the time, but there's so many of them. There's so much spirit, and they're all running around insane right now. There's over 100 quadrillion individual spirit beings. So you have over 4 trillion planets with hundreds of millions to billions, many billions of people, people, spirit, sentient energy. Most of the time when I say people, I'm talking about any being of spirit, sentient energy. Your real self, who you really are when you're out of that body, that's you. That body's what you drive, and that's all. So anyway, now I'm taking down the body harder again, which is good. It just messes me up sometimes. Anyway, I've never been a professional. I guess I've done this for a living. So by that alone, it qualifies me as being a professional. But I'm no professional at this stuff. It's obvious in what I put out. Some people, especially in the beginning, didn't like how it went, or what they didn't make them happy enough. And it's like, hey, cool, love you, man. Buzz off. Go do something else. Nobody says you got to listen to me or watch me. Don't. Go be happy somewhere. Just don't bitch to me about it. I know these people are neither awake nor aware of who they are or anything that's happening around them. And that's how we got to this religion thing. Those original first angels, they were telling you it was real. The original first being male and female. They wanted to grow you through abusing you, to put you in a physical body, abuse the hell out of that body, and you, while you're in it, and then when the body dies and you come out, your energy actually grows inside. It grows in size, when it comes out. No, I haven't had any wine yet, other than this little sip. I love my water more than anything else, but wine's nice. Anyway, but they had to have that praise. And first they just won a company, and then they found out that some people would praise them, and then they just said, oh, now this is cool. We're going to get praise. Then they had one designed to abuse the hell out of you. They didn't care about you. There's never been a devil or anything. The angels, they're servants. The angels were their servants. They did what they were told. There's only 2 angels that really knew better than the other angels about the way everybody was being treated. Archangel Michael and what they call Lucifer, the angel of light that was betrayed God, and all that stuff is so full of crap. Because they had to protect, the original protector is Lucifer. He was spread out all over the second and third dimension. All the universe, plus the second dimension, right above us, where we all live when we're not confined to these damn flesh bodies, physical bodies. And that's the way he got treated. That's the way it was. That's the way it's always been with them. Lying, deceit, that's your God, your Allah, your Yahweh, lying sacks of shit. So if the kids are hearing that, you don't want them to hear that, I can appreciate it, but there it is. If you had to deal with them, especially as long as I have, I was around before anyone else. Anything that's ever been a body, I'm the oldest thing. Myself and Lily, my other half. The original one. Back when we were all one Arae, one Lily. Anyway. That's all the original first being wanted. Was to be praised and didn't care about beating you up. And they kept lying to me, and then told me I was going to tell everyone to say praise Mother, Father, God, instead of just praise Father God. And I said no, so the fight took on. This is going on forever, though. Anyway, the thing is, that's who they were. You don't have to believe it. You can scream and shout. That's okay. It's funny how so many religious people I've met, they talk about Jesus Christ. They're yelling so loud. It's like, dude, shut the frack up. Are you so insecure in what you're saying that you have to scream it? Are you trying to threaten other people with it? Why the hell are you screaming? Shut the hell up. It's insane. I was involved in religion when I was a kid, when I was a little kid. And I was, 14 years old. My father told me I was going in there. And I got one of these. And you know what? I went in there. I did it. And then I got so sick of it. I went up to the minister. It was Methodist Church then. I was one that would lead they called a crucifer. Starts neophyte, acolyte, alpha, whatever. It goes up through there. And that was years ago. So anyway, I was the one that was carrying the cross in front of the procession. I was doing the communions early in the morning. I did a few sermons, all that blah, blah, blah. Okay? I enjoyed the love that I felt in so many wonderful people in the church, but I couldn't stand anything else about it. And when I was 14, by then I'd already been getting pretty strong, so it's like time for me to stand up to Pops, to start standing up to him. But anyway, I went up to the minister and I looked at him. I said, you know what? I said, I've been here for about, 4 years or something. You know what? We always say before we hand out the offering plate, let us not forget that it's more blessed to give than to receive. I said, but you know what? Been here every Sunday and we've never even given a sermon on it, talking about it. We just say it before we hand out the offering plates, the buckets for you, people to put the money in. And unreal, he just looked at me, he goes, well, I can tell that we're going to have to sit down and have a serious discussion when this service is over. And they give me a dirty look and they walked away. And I looked at him and I said, I don't think so. Carry your own damn cross. And I gave him the staff with the cross on it. Yeah, I've always been mild-mannered. I guess that's obvious. It just didn't make sense. Genesis, in a way, excited me, and there's a reason for that. Lily and I had the first lives ever anywhere on the planet Gabriel. And, but yet I couldn't stand it because I knew it was just all wrong, and it was brutally wrong and abusive and everything else, just like the rest of the Bible. In Christianity, they say, oh, you get hit did someone hit you in the cheek? It's okay. Turn the other cheek and let them hit that too. And I was like, okay, I never said I was the sharpest tool in the shed, but I got this real good. That's crazy. God loves you, and that's God's perfect, all forgiving, all loving, and that's why you're a sinner forever, and we made hell to abuse and torture you forever. What? You ask a preacher about that, and he'd say, well, God's just really smart and we're really stupid. I'm sure there's plenty that would say mostly something else, but We just can't understand his ways. He's so damn smart. Well, I'll tell you what I know. Someone hits me, I get pissed. They go to hit me a second time, that son of a bitch is going on the ground. Okay? And about being a sinner, if I haven't done anything against you, you got no right to say that about me. If you want to, that's fine, but I'm not going to pay any attention to it. And don't get in my face. You're going to find out transmission in my car is broke. There's no reverse. How could any loving God hold something against you for something your great granddaddy did? Where's the honor in that? Where's the truth in that? Where's the compassion? Where's the understanding? Where's the love? And Islam, the word Islam means submit. Kiss my ass. Wow. At least they're blatant about it, right? So, God loves you, really? How come my life is hell? Well, God cares about everyone, really? Well, my friend from school, Bob, his house just burnt down. And the only one, his mom and dad and his brothers and sisters, they're all dead now. Even his dog that lived through it is half dead, gonna die soon, crying. It's crying, and he loves his dog. Where's the love in that? Oh, we just don't understand God's ways. We gotta learn. Hey, well, you know what I learned from that? If there is this thing called God, he sucks. And the Jewish people, oh, Yahweh, you will not say Yahweh. You do not use God's name. Hey, they got something going on with their Orthodox, where they have this ceremony. I don't know if it's once or twice a year, but, they actually, throw their sins off on ducks and stuff. You know what sin means? It's an ancient archer's term for you missed the target, pick up another arrow and try again. These religions are crazy. They're insane. They're abusive. If something was worth praise, number one, it would not want it. Number two, it would not allow it. Because it cared enough about you that it needed to make sure you understood that you are not better than it. Because all in creation are equal. The skin color stuff, you know what that is? That's a paint job in a car that you're driving around in. That actually is got remote control in it. Well, doors are welded shut, you can't get out. So, people look in the mirror, they see their face, that's a good thing. And they're trying to understand things sometimes. Try this, just relax. Take two or three nice, relaxed, full breaths. Or at least two, just calm down. So sick of being in this body. Anyway, so just calm down, relax, and then look right inside your pupils. That's you. First couple times you do it, man, it's hard to look yourself in the eye. It's not because you're bad or a sinner or evil or anything. There's no such thing as evil. There's things that are done to be abusive to you, which was always the command of the original first being, which made itself male and female for company in the very beginning. The male and female original first being. What they demand you call God. And see, this is the December 21st, 2012, here on Earth. the end of the Fifth Age, has been a legend for well over 1 billion years. It was the Great Awakening, the great awareness, enlightenment of all creation when they find out there's also a mother God, not just a mother-father God. That's what they wanted to have. Yeah, well, they didn't get that. Started a big fight, they lost. Good. It's about family. It's about everybody. What do you have if something is told that it's better than everything else? You have something that starts thinking it is. It's not always, but 90% of the time, 80-some% of the time anyway. That's inviting trouble. The fact is, if you exist, you are equal to everything else that does exist. Period. If you were made to protect things like I was literally made to be creation's protector, and I am. I call myself the janitor. Then if you're like that, then you must, to perform your function, you must understand that everything is equal. Everything has equal rights. Everything is protected equally. Everything is treated equally. That's how it has to be. That's not how it's been whatsoever. That's why your lives have been held. You would never be in these physical bodies. Okay, back. The upper right atrium and ventricle, the upper left atrium and ventricle are acting kind of weird. Anyway, if someone cares for you, they show it. Not everyone, but most people have had a good mother and father. Did they make you bow before coming into and praise them, before coming into the house, before sitting at the table, before this? I hope not. If they did, they suck. Is that your mindset? Do you really feel in your heart that that is how that's supposed to be? How would you treat your children? I would hope you would treat them with love and compassion. The original first being was alone. It became sick with loneliness. It had too much heavy particulate matter pulled into the reactionary, whatever kind of reaction you want to call it. 5 different energy fields, heavy particulate matter. There was magnetic, other chemical stuff involved, but too much heavy particulate matter to where it had 27.5% of its lower frequencies. 27.5% of its frequencies were lower frequencies, what we call negativity. All this stuff is in the books that I wrote to leave you with. You'll find out more and more as time goes on. And folks, our friends from space, they're going to be here. They've been here for a long time. You're going to meet them soon. I want to get out of here before now because there's things I want to do to set that up in my own way, but I'm being kept in this damn body way too long. So Just little things here and there, you know, the insanity that is the other side right now. It's insane. It's about not to be. So, Lily and Arae have had more lives than anyone else. They're the strongest there is. Lily barely has 1% negativity, lower frequencies, that is. Arae, I've got about 3% now, which is the most of all essence, but most of all source. But at the same time, when you have to build up massive power levels, that's kind of normal. Excuse me. We've been around a long time. We understand this. Y'all are going to be running your own lives very soon. That doesn't mean you come into a body, you do whatever you want. I'm talking about when you're not in a body having a life, and you're outside as yourself, sentient energy, mostly in the spirit, sentient energy, mostly in the second dimension. You do float around here, though, a lot. That's what we call ghosts. It's no big thing. You will be involved in these different councils and stuff, and have a say-so in what you want to happen in your lives. Your own councils of your peers, including yourself, are going to decide what your lives should be like. And as long as they're not abusive, it's going to be allowed. You're not going to be allowed to get near the cliff and jump off and hurt yourself. But other than that, you got the whole continent to run around in, okay? And then plus, there's councils here in the third dimension, just now formed, that have spirit. Sentient spirit. You, when you're not in a body, sitting at the table. How about that? For some people, that would be a council with two ghosts in it. It's not ghosts. That's what you are when you're not in a body. You're spirit, sentient energy. There's been some people that have actually been hurt by spirits. If you take a look at when that happened, it's pretty much before 2013. That happens. That's being almost completely stopped now. But once I'm home, that stuff stops forever. Period. If something does that once, something does it one time, it's made to stop or deleted right away. And if it ever does it again, it gets deleted. Period. Gone. Completely destroyed. Yes, energy can be destroyed. All it takes is stronger energy to do it. To do so is a horrible thing. But to let something like that go through creation when you are changing it to one of compassion, honor, and equality. And there it goes. See ya. I know some of the things I say. People say, "How can I believe that?" And I said, "Well, you can't. You have to get stronger, see things for yourself. You got to learn how to trust what you see. And when you get up to a certain point, you'll finally see what is real, and you know for yourself. Until then, I need to leave the information. Remember, 100 years from now, 40% of the population on this planet will be alive and awake. They'll be awake and aware of who they really are. And that's what this is for. The people that are coming to this station, and there's more and more coming every day, it's being run like that. After I'm out of here, things settle down, it'll go up higher. It's going to keep growing. Why? Because it's time for everyone to become who they are. These books I've written, they're going to be bought up more. It's just going to continue. The name on it isn't going to matter. The information in it will. I'll be exactly what I want to be. Forgotten. I could have walked into a studio just with my quantitative electroencephalogram of any large production network, and said, here's a proof of what I can do. Right now, I'll pull 6 people out of your employment. I'll pull 100 out of there. And I will go into every one of them, crank them up, and I will prove that I'm something that's never been in the body before. I'll prove I can do what is impossible to any quote-unquote, hardcore scientist that doesn't have an open mind. Prove it. On live TV. What the hell for? I can go into 1,000 people at one time across the planet, crank them all up at one time. I can do it easily. Yeah. 2 minutes total for 1,000 people. The others that are staying here doing this, they're going to get the attention. I had to prove it could be done. I had to get rid of the problems on the other side, all that I could, and even though I'm still doing it, 98% of the problem spirit is gone, all the big bad stuff. And I had to leave the information. But the people coming to me, you're the ones that are leaders. All these people I've cranked up, you're just going to keep getting stronger. And as soon as I'm out of this body, I need a little time to take care of some other problems, but you're going to get cranked up hard right away. The original first being male and female. You're God. I said it too when I was young. I'm not trying to be talking down to anyone. It's just my anger is towards them. But that's silly because they don't exist anymore. They're dead. But they created a creation that was made to beat the hell out of your spirit while it was in the physical body. And then when you get out of the body, when the body dies and you come out, you go like this, poof, you grow a little bit. Well, if they beat the hell out of you, when you come out, it goes poof. And the bigger you are, when December 21st, 2012, the end of the 5th age on Earth, when that came to be, then there was, at that time, there's about 3.1 thousand new universes. Now there's 1,672 new universes. And something else, about 0.3 of another universe. But that's being turned into something else. It's not important. It's, who knows, they'll probably count them someday and see that. I don't care, it doesn't matter. That's what a lot of people say, Jay, the way you say things, do things, it's like you don't care. Well, I care about everything else big time. That's why I'm here. But what people think of me doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not that I don't care at all. I care about you. The more you can see about me and understand for yourself, good, the farther you are. Along the way to becoming yourself. Your real self. Not the thing you were told you are. You were always put down by other people around you, including your parents. Why? Because angels were running all of us. The original first angels, they were the servants of the original first being male and female. They did what they were told. They were told to screw with you, and they did. You can't blame your parents for some of the things they've done. It's just like there's things you've done in your life. After you did it, you're like, damn. After you did it, you're like, what the hell did I do that for? What the hell's wrong with me? I must be sick. What's wrong with me? That's not me. Well, it wasn't you. It was the original angel that was one of the original angels that was put on top of you, taking their energy, going straight down through your upper crown, through the middle crown, through the lower crown, right into the hypothalamus. And that angel, when it told you, when it goes in there, it says you must run through that door. And then you knew immediately you had to run through that door, and it was closed or locked. And you run right into it, beat the crap out of your head. You wake up after you get knocked down. You say, what the hell was that about? No, I didn't do that. Okay, I'm using kind of a bit of an exaggerated example, but at the same time, I've watched other people do that. Someone was the spiritual travelers, what Sylvia Brown used to call them. They're people that are dedicated to helping out the original first being male and female. And I was talking to them about a gentleman that was in the Starbucks. And this guy, he was very human, but he really had a hard time talking and everything else. And I was mad about what I was going through with the original first being male and female. This is a long time ago, 2011. And so anyway, I was just in a pissy mood, and he was the last one in here, and he literally spends most of his time on a ship out in space. But he's in here a lot. He's some kind of, it was like a science officer, but it was like a security thing. So he was sitting down relaxed, and I walked in and I said, "Hey, Steve." And I said, "Yeah, I don't know why we call UFOs unidentified flying objects, because we know just who they are." A guy closed up his laptop, left. He did, pulled the cord, grabbed the laptop, didn't put it in his case, grabbed it, and ran out of the place. Now that was rude of me to do, but so Steve looked at me like, "What?" And then he looks at the other guy, and he said, "That guy left pretty quick, didn't he?" And he goes, "Yeah, that was weird." Because he's in there all the time. That place was a hotbed of activity. So anyway, I told Steve, who he was, and then Steve got all mad. And I'll never say his last name. He's a wonderful guy. As a matter of fact, one of his lives, he was Galahad. He's an awesome individual. Love him. Anyway, remember, we all get run, and we're all having a hard time with life. That we're pushed like that. Okay. Anyway, but that's stopping. Anyway, so he started walking across walking across behind the counter at the Starbucks, and as soon as he got a little more than halfway towards the office, all of a sudden he stopped, and he was like a robot moving. And another woman that worked there, she stopped and she watched him. She was right next to him, and she goes, "What the?" And then he walked right over to the corner of a wall, where the wall comes together. It's got that point. He just walked right over to it. His eyes were blank as hell, and he goes, right in the corner of it, okay? He goes, bam, hit his head so hard, literally knocked him to his knees. And then he stood up. Because as soon as I saw what happened, it was the original female. Original first being female, what people call God, Mother God. She grabbed a hold of him, and she beat him up. So she made him bang his head into the wall. And he said, why'd I do that? And I just kind of smiled. And I said, Steve, the way to look at this, the way to figure this out is, what was the last thing you were thinking about? He didn't say anything. It's what he was thinking. It's easy to hear what people are thinking, especially when they're upset. Anyway, we can all be run like that, folks. It happens to everyone. And if you don't want to accept that, either you can't be honest with yourself to relax and try and look back in time to see it. You refuse to do that. Or you just, have other issues. Leave that be. There's no such thing as perfect. So anyway, you have all these religions that are telling you praise, 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 because that's what they wanted. They control you. Submission. Have a religion actually made out of the word submission. And Islam, I believe, is the largest religion on the planet. But anyway, people these days, man, they're getting tired of it. More people are seeing spirit all over the place. People are catching orbs flying around, and scientists are saying it's a ground electro supermagnetic activity phenomenon that we've proven here in labs. We know what we're talking about. Yeah, whatever. What church do you go to, sir? Well, I'm a Christian, or I don't know, I don't go to a church, I'm always working. What? If you don't have an open mind, why are you a scientist? You'll also find that most scientists are solar plexus oriented. Every once in a while, Deanna and I will watch one of these ghost things on TV, and we talk about what's happening, who's what, where, what's real, what's fake. Anyway, I talk a little bit about myself when I say this stuff. I'm not trying to get on a high. I want you to know who I am, because I want you to know why I know what I am. I've helped thousands of people. I've cranked up over 4,000 people. Ever since I've been doing this, 200 people cranked up? Paid consults, 300? I don't know, maybe 300, 400 people over the past few years I've cranked up. That, the people that most of those people paid. I've gone in stores and I know people didn't have money. I cranked them up, and those people that got cranked up, you got more coming. We were put together for a reason. The video showed up on YouTube. You were told, get a hold of him. People need to understand who they are. That not only are your abilities real, as you teach them, as you help them awaken to who they are, themselves, awaken themselves into who they are, but they'll know that you have incredible abilities, and so do they. So there'll never be a big thing about it, but who I actually am, that'll be found out soon enough. Eventually, one Drock individual, when you've seen a few human dragons, humanoid dragons, they're dragon, but they're humanoid type dragons. The most powerful, physically powerful, and incredibly intellectual beings in creation. Eventually one of them tell you who I am. And there's others. There's no whoopee-doo. I'm the title of fart in overalls. I expect people to be as honest with me as I am with them. And I don't expect anyone to have blind faith in me. You know what blind faith does? Makes you walk around with your eyes closed, and then you start accidentally running into walls, falling off cliffs, running in the street, get hurt. Blind faith helps no one, except for the people that hold out the offering plates and say, pay here. I've taught you all about feeling stones. I've taught you that you literally go through time and space. Time and distance, you go through time, plus you can travel a long distance. It doesn't have to be through actual space. Here we go. I'll show you right now. Let's do this again. A lot of new people coming in. Now, if you can't feel a stone right away, there's a reason for that. Don't worry about it. Over time, you will. When your solar plexus, there's three main orientations for energy focal points in your body that produce the basic form of power that you have, where your meta abilities are the strongest. In the pineal energy field is here. It's on the back part of the brainstem. There's the pineal, then there's the heart, and then there's the solar plexus. That's where you build up power. When you're solar plexus oriented, the solar plexus 7/8 of it is the average amount that's buried inside. That energy field is buried inside your core energy that goes from your pelvic area up to the top of the head and goes up and down. Okay, it actually flows through itself. Okay, you used to have two energies in there, two different spirits. The dual core, the dual spirit core, which is what they will call the Kundalini, the two snakes that go up and down on this planet, and from this planet only. The planetary essence that was in there was that second snake that's been pulled out of everyone and everything. So now you have a single core, single spirit core. But anyway, depending on which field is strongest in your body, the way your body was made is relative to your DNA, plus who you are as spirit. The brain has the strongest part of your spirit, the most intelligent part of your spirit, and then it moves through these different centers, and that's how you use your abilities. There's book number 3. The Creation series has got 3 volumes or 3 books in it. Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3. Book 1 is Creation is the beginning and your origin. That's how everything started. Where did this God thing come from? It's simple. Simple as all get out. Second one is creation, its journey evolving into paradise, which means it was about the war, the source war. It was about how everything grew from the beginning and developed and was manipulated by the original first being male and female, and then how everyone started manipulating everyone else through the use of abuse, arrogance, and other stuff, sometimes brute force. And then the third book, right behind me, it's Creation, Book 3. It's got a long thing. It's about the ET arrival here on Earth, about the future, what's going to happen. I tell you how the Earth is going to change. I tell you about all the different energy fields in your body, the basic energy fields, and what stones are relative to it, and what the stones do. The spheres that are offered by the spiritualfoundation.com, they're in there too to explain what's in there. There's so much information in that book. You can take that book, take it to a stone store. You don't have to buy stones from the Spiritual Foundation. All our stones are cranked up by myself and Deanna. There's other source people out there. There's plenty of them. And there's plenty of them are strong. They're going to come out into the limelight too, more and more. Okay, it's not about me. It's not about Deanna. It's about everyone. And we are part of everyone. But you won't find that there's no spirit stronger than what I am. And I put it as much as I can into the stone without hurting it. By hurting it, I don't mean it like it breaks or something silly like that, but stone has its own energy and its own character, and if I screw with that too much, then I'm like, I don't know, I'm wrong. I'm totally incorrect in what I'm doing. Murder, rape, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's wrong. Star Resonite loves my energy. Now this is a piece of some extremely high crystal Star Resonite. I had to get a pickaxe and dig a bunch of this stuff out. Of course, that was years ago. But I got a whole lot. And Deanna's got it over here. This is the regular Star Resonite. Now, there's also Dragon Egg Star Resonite. See if I can get a piece of that. This stone is even stronger. It's Star Resonite, but it's more star material in it. This is almost complete star. Blown up star. Again, people have told, not many, very, very few, but some people have actually said, Jay, you're nuts. It's not star. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. I took a piece to a gemologist, and he was like, he rattled off a whole bunch of different stuff, and I'm like, I said, that sounds great, and I know it's right, but I have no idea consciously what you just said. And he said basically the elements, the gases involved when they compress that make up a star. So anyway, he had this. He took some time looking at it and tested it. They have some weird goggle stuff, man. It's got like 10 different lights and magnifiers in them. It's kind of weird. Anyway, but I know it is. How do you talk to stone? That's in book 2 and 3, I think. Everything you could want to know about waking up is in there. How the individual parts of your body are used through different parts of your spirit, which is controlled through the brain to use your abilities. How does that happen? How do you see? How do you remote view? How do you see things multidimensionally? How do you just know something? How do you feel something? How do you know something through the gut? You just have a gut feeling about it. It's all there. Mas? Okay. There's a lot of cool people here on this planet, other ones too, but especially here on Earth that are source. And they're going to do a kick-ass job. They're powerful as hell. And they're going to help you become awake and alive. And you will see from DNA results change and everything else. And that'll come out after I'm gone. Not going to have anyone knocking on my door. We want to talk. I can't even hardly make it from the bedroom to the downstairs to the office. Sick of being in this body. I don't care about that. I care about getting back and doing my job. Anyway, all of you are incredible beings. You're so awesome. And almost no one understands it. It's sad creation was made the way it was. I understand it. These religions are sickening. They treat you like foul idiots. Some of the most abusive people on the planet. The vast majority of the most abusive people on this planet are embedded in religions. Most of the people in these religions are beautiful, loving, wonderful people. I did not just contradict myself. Not whatsoever. Now that those angels are off of you, it's already been happening for a while anyway. People are starting to understand. It just doesn't make sense. They're so contradictory to themselves, they can't stand up. As long as you don't have something hanging on you saying, yes, that's right, yes, that's right, bow, submit, obey, unless you have something like that forcing you, making you do it, if you're allowed to have freedom of will, then that's how it's going to go. And very soon, as soon as I get home, nothing is going to be allowed to do that to you physically. Do it a couple of times, and after that, it's going to have a problem. So, I've had NSA, NSA came into my house when I wasn't here, looking through the computers and everything else. It was funny, but I've had FBI and Homeland Security knock on my front door together. The thing with the NSA was funny though, because there was four people and another one outside on a road. One of them was a woman, and she actually worked for the FBI. She was undercover. She's the one that went into my computers. I can say that because it doesn't matter. That's already out. It doesn't hurt her at all. So she got along good with Herky. That's kind of funny. Anyway, I've never cared about them, about what they wanted to say. I've never been afraid of them. I don't care. When you finally awaken, what you see is so different than what you've been told. When you see for yourself, using all of your physical and metaphysical abilities, folks, you're in a whole new world. Some people would say, that's ascension. No, it's not. Ascension is when the body dies and you come out. And as time goes on, when these bodies start getting being taken away, the physical ones, you can do that whenever you want. You can't go back in, but you can get out. You'd have to make another body, go in another body, and eventually you'll be making your own bodies. I've never said this yet, but I mean, not on video, but eventually there won't be any bodies. You're just going to tighten up, you're going to strengthen up your own body to make it more physical and go around doing things. Everything's going to change. There's no sense in me talking about that right now. When you have physical bodies, you must have physical abuse to maintain the physical bodies. Like I was saying, to maintain a physical body, you have to have abuse. Animals have been having to kill each other to stay alive. Kill and eat each other. We eat them. Disgusting. When I've had my lives in Fae, which is a type of energy body, as strong as my energy is, when I have a life in a Fae body, I can live for a month, for 30 days Earth time, on the energy that I pull out of a fallen apple and a thimble of honey. That feeds me for a month. You don't sleep, you don't have to sleep or eating anything when you have children. It's a 2-minute ordeal at the most. And there's no pain, there's no suffering. It's it's y'all putting your energies together. I'm going to go ahead and get off before I have a bad problem here. Anyway, I want to get this video out just trying to help you understand a little more about yourself and the negative, abusive, controlling thought processes of all religions. No one's better than you. If they were so cool, they wouldn't let you praise them. You wouldn't suffer. When someone says praise God, praise Allah, praise Yehu, whatever, Yehu, you whoopie-doo, why? What have they done for me lately? And God's not around. God doesn't exist anymore anyway. God, Allah, Yehu, they're all dead. The male and female original first being, gone, deleted forever. Bye-bye. No mas. So, when you all get home, you're going to see this for yourself. When you finish your life and get out of your body, please don't hurt yourselves. You'll find out for yourself. So, anyway. All religions are based on false principles. Don't let anyone ever tell you that they're better than you. Because no one is. No one's better than you. You're not any better than anyone else, but no one's any better than you. The more people understand that, the more harmony you'll have and compassion you'll have in creation. It's going to happen. So what's next? How it all started, what this God thing was, how they came into being, all the other. I've spent so much time looking and seeing and to put all this information together for you. And as I started becoming more self-aware, getting stronger and stronger, you're going to do the same thing. You'll hear quote-unquote psychics talk about, I was like this, I was born like this, I'm a seventh generation. Well, I mean, that's cool, that's good, but everyone is born with metaphysical abilities. The word psychic is a sham. It's what we've been using, but it's a good thought process to get away from it. Everyone has metaphysical abilities. Period. They're all a little different. Your bodies are a little different. Your actual frequencies within your body are a little bit different. Creation is varied. We don't have to sit at the table together and sing Kumbaya, but you need to know yourself to be able to appreciate yourself better and those you love, those around you. The more you understand about yourself, the more you understand about yourself, the more you can see things clearly, what's really happening, the better life you can give those you love, especially your children. So anyway, look, if that helped one person, cool. That's the whole idea. Damn. But if you take the time to look at any religion, you're gonna find out it's nothing but bogus. And as you awaken and see what's really going on, it's not like the Matrix falls. Excuse me. It's not like the Matrix falls apart. Excuse me. And all of a sudden you see everything. You see things as they are. You see through them. The heart's one of the most incredible things there is. It's so powerful. So many people with heart have been made to think that they're weak. They're powerful as hell. Folks, love you, man. I want the best for every one of you, everyone and everything, everywhere. Change is coming. It's already happened. Have a good